Hey, welcome everybody. We're back on another edition of the Odds Brothers podcast coming to you from the Bentley Sportsbook inside Southland Casino and Hotel. It's just a solo shot like normal, but we do have two guys this time. No fries. Coming to you from Ohio in just a second. New year, same old stuff though. It's time to roll that beautiful bean footage. Hit it. I said hit it.
Welcome to the Odds Brothers Podcast. Follow the Odds Brothers Podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google, and YouTube. Now here are the hosts of the show, Moneyline Mark.
I'm not a smart man.
And Point Spread Shane.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
Oh, there we are, everybody. Odds Brothers Podcast. To my immediate left, should be yours too if you're watching from home. Two familiar faces. First, the man that is the only guy that ever got 6 points in the Pick Six contest based on where he would like to live between two teams. That's Kyle right over there, sporting whatever. That's right. And then, of course, you know the bald guy over there. That's Mark.
Hello.
Hello. Why don't you gentlemen tell us what's going on down there and why, one, you're not in studio, and then two, whatever that ugly-looking T-shirt you're wearing is. What is that?
Go ahead, Kyle. Go ahead. This is MVGBet, brand new sports betting app in the beautiful state of Ohio. We just launched. You can get a $250 risk-free first bet. If your first bet settles as a loss, we'll give you up to $250 back in a free bet. It doesn't get better than that. It takes more of Nick's money. Take Nick's money.
Really? So for people that may not know where this Miami Valley Gaming is, where's that at?
We're in between Cincinnati and Dayton, Ohio. It's a beautiful place. Beautiful facility. You can bet anywhere in the whole state of Ohio. The whole state.
Whole state. Not just part of the state, but the whole state.
Whole state. Even like Cleveland, Toledo, Columbus, Cincinnati.
How about Steubenville? How about Bel Air?
Sure. Absolutely.
All right, so you're right. That would encompass the entire state, I think. We might have forgotten somebody. I'm sure. There's only 13 million that live in the state? I forget. Ohio's pretty important. Oh, there you go. Kyle pulling out the stats for you. All right, well, the three of us today are going to go over some games coming up. I know we missed a podcast on this past Monday due to many, many things, but one of them being trying to put a stage back together after bans for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day here inside the Sportsbook. If you joined us here at Southland Casino and Hotel, hope you had a good time. Numbers initially, guys, show a record, coin in, handle, all that stuff. Really good day, I guess you could say business-wise, for the last day of Greyhound racing. They handled the most money they had since 1994 on a single day in 14 cards, so that was good. And now it's West Virginia if you want that action, but sports action you'll get here all the time. And, boys, we got the National College Football Playoff happening on Monday, and we've got plenty of NFL action to get to. We will have our Pick Six selections, even though you couldn't hear them last time. for some.
That was beautiful.
That was beautiful. That way we could lie to you if we wanted to, but no, we're not going to do that. We're going to come clean and let you know that Preston lost again. So that's our plans there. You guys ready for some of this action?
We're ready.
All right, see if I can pull it up. That's not the one. But there we go. First up, guys, let's tackle that college football playoff. Now, TCU, remember we had that big old cry fest, once again, that many people didn't hear. Alabama should have been in the playoff and all that good stuff, and TCU shouldn't be in there. Well, TCU ended up going ahead and making this point mute by beating Michigan, and they're going to be in against Georgia. Now, Georgia had some trouble with Ohio State, if you guys remember, and if you watch the end of that game, it was a 50-yard field goal that Ohio State missed. Otherwise, we could be talking TCU Ohio State. Now, I know you shake your head. What? If Ohio State had gotten in this thing, you guys might have got a lot of action there on Monday there at the MVG.
Absolutely. Yep.
So is that what the
Absolutely. These folks here
Wide
don't really
to the
care.
left.
Yeah.
Wide to the left.
Wide to the left. That's going to be the T-shirt before long on Monday. You guys could probably do that. sign up for a new account and get a wide to the left T-shirt free.
Good idea.
All right, well, here's an interesting thing for the game now. 12.5-point favorites for Georgia, so they're not expecting that close of a championship game here. After Ohio State threw a bunch of yards all over Georgia, I actually think TCU's offensive output is equal to, if not greater than, Ohio State's, to be honest. How do you guys see this game coming out? Like, who's your winner? Do they cover? And what do you expect on Monday night?
If I had known that there was a player that plays for TCU that's from our hometown, I would have never gone against TCU.
Yeah, that's right.
Because of this, that's right. Because of that, I'm going to stick with TCU to cover.
TCU.
I know I didn't say win.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I say that's the angle.
All right, Kyle, do you want to live in Georgia or Texas?
Did it though. I like Texas, but I'm going to have to go against my better judgment here and say Georgia. I don't think they're going to cover, but I do think they're going to win.
Man,
they don't cover.
So that's two of you. Take the points in TCU, but you think that Georgia's going to ultimately win this game, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you make it a three-pack here. I think TCU is destined. If you just look at a season, some teams are just destined. And that offense is no joke. I think that Michigan underestimated that. If you remember on the podcast that, Mark and I could hear anyway. I was concerned because I knew Maryland had as close to a pass-efficient offense as TCU had, and they hung like 30 on Michigan in their own building. And that's when I picked TCU in the game. Okay. And that was before I even realized that the quarterback for TCU comes from Mark and I's hometown. So we got to root for the hometown boys. I'm going to root for them to win outright, but I ain't going to be the dummy. I'm going to take the 12.5 here. And I think they give Georgia a game. Now, the one thing I am concerned about from Georgia's standpoint is I never saw their defense play that bad. I didn't think Ohio State was going to rack up 45 points on them. So that part was a little troubling to me. If that's a trend, TCU might have a yeoman's chance to actually win this game. If they can't stop a passing game, I think that that's exactly what TCU does best. All right, you guys got that. Everybody's down for TCU and the points. Keep in mind that game kicks off at 6:30 Central Time on Monday. Now, you can get your bets in all weekend long here if you want to beat the lines, but I expect a pretty good showing of wagering going on, both here and in your guys' state now of Ohio for that game.
Yeah, it would have been better, like you said, if Ohio got in.
Yep.
Yeah, well, for you guys, it would have been absolutely huge up there, yeah. What would you have given out then to sign up? It's good, T-shirts. It's good, T-shirts.
T-shirts. We're still giving out T-shirts. We got hats. We got koozies. We got T-shirts. Stop on by. Miami Valley Gaming. Come meet our beautiful faces. We're going to give you some merch.
I'll sign it for you if you need me to.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll sign.
Trust me, everybody, you don't need them to, but go ahead. It makes them feel better, and that's what 2023 is all about. A fresh start. A fresh start for everybody, as we were.
And those tickets for that championship game are free.
Yeah. What do you guys feel on the over-under? That's quite a few points there. 63.
What is it? 63? I think that's going to go under.
You think it's going to go under?
Yeah.
Goes under.
Okay.
Oh, he's looking. I'm going to say he's going to go over.
Yeah. I mean, you look at both games, both the TCU game and Michigan scored in the 30s, and Georgia and Ohio State scored in the 40s. So I actually do expect to see an over game. When you get a game like this, though, that first 8-10 minutes of the first quarter, they look like they can't get out of each other's way, like passes sail over people's heads, and it just seems like everybody's too jacked up. But once they settle in, I think you'll see a lot of offense in here. I'm going to take a shot at the over and think that this game comes out like 38-31, 38-34, something like that in favor of Georgia.
See, somebody told me once that if two big teams like this get to playing each other, you think there's going to be a lot of high scoring, and usually there's not. That's not maybe you.
That would be me. That would be me. And normally I would say under for sure, but, boy, Georgia's defense sure has not been looking the part like last year when you did good to score 2 touchdowns on them all game. They've been leaking some points here lately, and I'm not quite sure what that is. Just people figured out a scheme that takes advantage of what they don't do well all of a sudden, or if they just thought they were going to coast through these games and then found themselves kind of too late to dig out of it, and the offense had to come to bear for Georgia. But should be a good game either way. I don't see a blowout either side, and hopefully we can come back on Monday's show and give our hometown quarterback boy a good heads up and a picture of him holding the trophy. That'd be pretty cool. Is that good for you?
Yep.
All right, let's get to some NFL action then. Maybe. You get – oh, is this one going to come up, Mark?
We got Saturday game.
Do what?
How about this? We'll do this promotion while you're not around. In Arkansas and Tennessee, you can get a $250 risk-free bet if you sign up for the Betly mobile app. If you're in the Arkansas side, you have to register for Arkansas if you want to bet in the state, and same goes for Tennessee. But here's the key: Nick's not a smart man sometimes, so he'll let you sign up for $250 in both states, and you may not even realize it after 20 weeks that we've been doing this now. So Arkansas, sign up. Go over to Tennessee, sign up, sit in that Bass Pro parking lot, and you have basically $500 worth of risk-free bets at your disposal. Yeah, I know. Kyle's like, don't tell everybody, Paul. Don't want to do that. But that's what we're looking at if you're interested. Up to $250. You have to at least, I believe, bet, what, $10 on this one, Mark?
Yep, $10. Minimum $10.
Yep, and it has to be at least a minimum odds of minus 250 or greater, so you can't do the $250 on a minus 10,000 game in college basketball. That's not going to work. Won't let you do it. And I don't even think it's probably a good idea if you thought about it. Right? Right. So there we are. Now, let me get to the picks here while you guys go. For folks to get up, say it one more time for the folks in Ohio, what do they have to do? What do they have to download? And what can they get as a gift back from you guys if they sign up?
So it's just like Tennessee and Arkansas. You make that first wager when you sign up on MVGBet.com or download it on your mobile phone. And once you make that bet and it shows us a loss, you'll get more of Nick's money. Just a different state, same thing. It's just known differently. Instead of Bentley, it's MVGBet.
Take a little road trip and get all of Nick's money. It's a good strategy.
All right. I concur. Take everything you can from that guy because, one, he's an Eagles fan, and he's a marketing genius. So both of those combined equal free money for all of our fans. Keep in mind, speaking of fans, take a moment here while we're thinking about it. Like and subscribe here on YouTube. You can also catch this podcast. If you're in your car, it's not a wise idea to be looking at us while you're doing so. Spotify, Amazon, Google, and another one I'm forgetting. What's the other? Oh, Apple Podcasts. We're on all of those. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm an Android guy. Sometimes I forget. Oh, by the way, Mark, I just found out we're still not sponsored by Cheez-Its.
Oh, man.
I've been waiting for the damn email to come through. I thought we gave them a proper.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah, there's a nice big opening back there behind you on the backdrop.
Yes.
You can put a Cheez-It logo there.
I'll eat them during the show. I love my Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
It would be great. All right, Kyle, work on that for us.
All right. I love Cheez-Its too, so I'm sold.
We're all on the Cheez-Its bandwagon. All right, guys, let's pick some NFL games. First up, Kansas City Chiefs at the Raiders. Raiders have nothing to play for at this point. The Chiefs, depending on what the NFL owners decide, with the Cincinnati and Buffalo, the way that game ended in the first quarter and they decided not to resume it ever, they're in the meetings now about what to do about that when it comes to playoff seeding and who goes somewhere. So there is a moment of thought that if somehow Kansas City meets Cincinnati or Buffalo, they would play at a neutral site to try to mitigate the lost game that probably would have determined the 1 seed. Because if Buffalo would have played the game out and beat Cincinnati, they locked the 1 seed down the whole playoffs and the bye. If Cincinnati won, they had a chance with the tiebreaker Kansas City to basically host throughout as well. So now that that's out the window, we're waiting to see what the NFL will do, including there's some talk about adding an 8th team to the AFC side, and nobody would get a bye week, and then everybody gets to play on the same weekend. So nobody got to skip a game, I guess, is what they're trying to think in the playoffs. Who knows? But let's take that out of the equation and just assume that this game is as what we're going to end up being, which is they're going to go with win percentage at the end of the day to determine seeds in the AFC. Kansas City on the road. They barely beat Denver. They seem to have trouble with division rivals lately, including the Raiders last time out. So where are you guys on this? Kansas City's favored by 8.5 currently. Over under a 52.5.
I'm taking the Raiders. I think Chiefs win, but it's going to be a close game. They don't cover. So that's why I'm going to go with the Raiders.
Going to go with the Raiders and Stidham.
Yeah. I really don't think the Chiefs are going to play all that hard. I don't really think that they're too concerned about number one. I think they're just going to go out and play the best they can. Possibly, I guess if they do start blowing them out, I don't see all their starters playing that fourth quarter.
Yeah, I hear you.
I don't see it happening, though, because I agree with you. They struggle against division rivalries, and they're at the Raiders. So it could be a tough game.
And that's Vegas, baby. They'd rather be at the craps table for this game. What do you think, Kyle?
Yeah.
I think the Chiefs take it. I think they go over as well. I honestly believe the Chiefs are going to crush the Raiders this weekend, just as a show of force around the league. They just want to not be forgotten about in the discourse right now, and they're going to play that way.
Wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd rather live in Kansas City over Vegas?
That's not what I said.
He's changing his style.
Yeah.
Chiefs are compelling, and Kansas City barbecue is pretty good. So.
Yeah, it is pretty good. I'll agree with that. I wish I knew how they were going to handle this. If they were going to say that the number one seed, if those teams met in some form or fashion, was going to be a neutral site game, then Kansas City really doesn't have anything to play for. They've wrapped up the division. Right. They can fall down any further than the 3 seed. So in that case, I think they rest everybody and play it safe because they know they're going to play the first weekend, more than likely. So I'll take the points and I'll take the Raiders and hedge on that this game is going to mean nothing to Kansas City. Now, keep in mind, there's 2 games on Saturday. That is the first one on Saturday. Now, a game that will mean something, and hopefully I hit the right arrow. Up, down, side. What is it, Mark? It's not that
down.
one. Yeah, evidently it's not that. Yeah.
Remember, you got to click on something that's not that.
Click on something that's not that.
Yeah. I hit it down there.
Yeah. Let's try this. No?
Well, he's having technical difficulties. MVGBet.
Yeah.
That's new app is fun.
Tennessee. They are loaded up here. Let's see.
We're giving out these hats.
That's a nice hat, Mark.
Hey, I don't
Where
know.
Where can I get that hat, Mark?
Right here.
Right here?
In Miami Valley.
Right here?
That's right.
Wow. That's
Come here.
incredible.
We'll help you sign up.
Really?
Give you some swag.
Wow.
You can keep your beer cold.
We got koozies.
We got koozies. We got some T-shirts. And we got these nice hats. They're nice hats. And if you get confused, you just have to look at your hat where to go.
All right, Tennessee Titans.
Hey,
at the Jacksonville Jaguars, gentlemen. Jacksonville, this game does mean something no matter what happens, I guess. Unless they add an 8th team to the AFC, then it really means something here. But in this case, Jacksonville is the home team. They're running hot, winners of the last 5. They destroyed Jacksonville about 3 weeks ago here. They're 6.5-point favorites at home. Word is Joshua Dobbs will be your starting quarterback for Tennessee. That was the guy you saw last time when they played Dallas in their last game. Over under a 40, so they don't expect a lot of points here. How does the Ohio Dynamic Duo see this game?
Well, I think this is a good time to take a nap. Even though it's the last game, you might as well go to bed early or make a drive over here to Ohio. But either way,
Try.
I would think that Jacksonville might win this game if they decide to play, but both these teams are not looking well. I just don't think – I don't know. I don't know if they can stop the run from Tennessee, but Tennessee has really been struggling.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that replacing the quarterback is going to help much as far as that team going, but I'm going to take Jacksonville. I mean, I think they win by 7, so being 6.5. If it was 7.5, I'd probably flip it to Tennessee. I think that 6.5 is a good margin.
Yeah, so you're looking at a touchdown game.
Yep.
I got you. Kyle?
And I'd go under because I agree. I don't think there's going to be much scoring in this.
Ooh, all right.
I'm going to trust Old Faithful, and Jacksonville sucks. Hasn't played. Sorry, Jacksonville listeners, if we have any.
Duval County, shots fired.
It's got Titans all the way. I love Nashville. I love Tennessee. It's a beautiful state. Could they be a better team? Of course. Have they been a better team in the past? Debatably. But this Saturday, I think the Titans at least try to eke out another win.
Hey,
I think they cover.
Justin didn't send you like a demanding email or anything. He's not.
He did it.
He's not off to the side of the camera.
But he better send me some kudos after I said all of this on his behalf.
Yikes!
Not gonna be able to do it.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I don't see. I think Jacksonville's playing way too good, and the quarterback situation to me is concerning for Tennessee. It would have been with Malik Willis, really anybody but Tannehill in this situation. You got a road playoff game you need to win to get in, and you got two guys that are career backups and barely have any experience at this. So I think that ultimately ends up dooming Tennessee, because if I'm Jacksonville, I'm stacking that box. 8 deep, I'm not letting Derrick Henry beat me. I'm going to make a quarterback that barely plays beat me, and if that happens, you don't deserve to get in anyway. So although it is playoff atmosphere and I expect everybody to be jacked up, so I don't foresee a blowout here, but I'll take that 6.5 in Jacksonville there, Mark.
All right.
Let's see.
That's in.
There we go. It's working now, Paul. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is Sunday games. These are the noon games. 8-8. They really have nothing to play for. They cannot get up in seed. They're the 4 seed locked in for the NFC South, and Atlanta Falcons, nothing to play for. They've been eliminated a while ago. So Atlanta, that's how you get them to be 4-point favorites here, 40.5. So word is, even though that they should probably do it, no Tom Brady's going to play, no Chris Godwin, no Mike Evans. You're just going to bunch of backups from Tampa Bay in this game, guys.
Wow. Yeah, I'm a big dumb animal, so I'm going to go ahead and take Tampa Bay anyway. Because I think Atlanta's probably still trying to figure out who's going to play for them next year. So it could still be like a preseason for them. Who can play? So give me those points, and I'll take Tampa Bay. I know it's a risky play because they are, at Atlanta.
All right.
For 40, I would go under.
Yeah, that's probably a good call if you got a bunch of scrubs.
Yeah, I think total points maybe 28.
All right, Kyle?
Okay. So that's a sleeper of a game, in your opinion. I have to go with the Falcons. Yeah, they don't have anything to lose because they don't have anything to win. So the Buccaneers are not going to try at all, and I think the Falcons are just gonna go for it. I don't think it goes over. It's definitely going to be under, but I think Atlanta wins.
All right, I'm going to go over because I when you get guys that shouldn't be starting on defense playing, usually these games end up just being just throw over me. Let's score a bunch of points, have some fun, and go home. We're going to see laterals. We're going to see reverses. We're going to see flea flickers. We're going to see a bunch of crap just end on a high note. I will take Atlanta because I think they'll play more starters than Tampa Bay will, and they're at home. So I think Atlanta wins this game, and I do go over the 40.5. Next game up, New England. They are going to be on the road to Buffalo. Now, Kyle, I'm going to lean a little bit on you on this one. Buffalo's 7-point favorites. This is kind of in the dark because we don't know what the NFL is going to say about seeding in the AFC, but I would guess now that the name.
DeMar Hamlin.
Yes, I wanted to say Devin. You're right. Mr. Hamlin is got the breathing tube out of his neck. He's actually talked to the team. I think these guys are going to be jacked clean up. Like, if you're New England and Bill Belichick, you got to be like, damn it. As if it was any harder to go into Buffalo and win. Now we have the emotional aspect for Buffalo coming into play. I see an absolute ass stomping coming here. Do you?
I do. Personally, with Hamlin being away and the Patriots on the road at Buffalo, they're going to put DeMar Hamlin up on the Jumbotron. Supposedly in the last few hours, we've gotten word that he's like FaceTiming people and stuff now.
Yep.
So I think they're going to get him on the Jumbotron when the team comes out, and they're going to get so fired up. They're dumping like 60 points on the Patriots this game.
Oh, my God.
60?
Yep.
What was his number? On the
Three.
Oh, they'll score more than that. I figured if his number was like 48, they were going to try to match the number any way they could. But, yeah, okay. They're going to score more than
They'll
3.
definitely get 3 at least. I hope.
All right, Mark, where do you see here? Same?
I agree. I think they got something to play for. They're definitely going to light a fire. Had that not happened, I think Patriots win it. But with this, they have all the motivation they need to go out there and win. And I think they're going to handily show folks why they should be in the Super Bowl. I know him and I have discussed a little bit about there's a great chance now to make a great NFL story for the Buffalo Bills to win the Super Bowl. Go from tragedy to
hang on.
winning this.
Not going to be able to do it.
Let's just calm down. Let's just calm down a little bit on this. But
Listen, I've been watching my whole life. The refs going against Buffalo. All right, always against what would help Buffalo. And I think for the first time in a very long time, we're gonna get the refs on our side a little bit, where they're like, all right, we're gonna let that slide a little bit, how like they did for the Patriots for 20 years, you know?
So here's an idea. First of all, I think Buffalo wins. I'm surprised it's not more than 7. I think it goes over as well. But I would not be shocked. I don't know necessarily about refs helping out on this, but I would not be shocked if the first defensive play Buffalo has, they only play with 10 guys for the one snap. They don't replace Hamlin out there for one snap as a sign of, brotherhood. Like, hey, you're out here with us. So if you're not here, you're not out here for this one play, and then game on. Or they get together with Belichick and say, look, we're going to line up with just 10 guys. You take a delay a game, and we're going to decline the penalty. Then we'll move on. But I think there'll be something very moving on the very first play of the game, depending on who gets the ball first, all that. I think there's going to be something to kind of celebrate he looks like he's going to be okay.
Yeah.
As a person.
This is a game to watch.
Now, is there any weather up there that you know of this Sunday, Kyle, or is it going to be okay for winter up in Buffalo in January? I did not look at the weather on Sunday. Did you?
I did not look at the weather. It'll probably be cold. It's probably going to be in like the 30s, but not blizzard conditions. I haven't heard anything of another blizzard coming through, so the game should go on.
Breaking news. Kyle predicts cold in January in Buffalo.
Riveting.
You only get that kind of dissection of the games right here on the Odds Brothers podcast. All right.
Right here.
Everybody is on Buffalo. All right, Minnesota. That's the next game on the old agenda here. They're at the Bears. The Bears got nothing, obviously, to play for. 3-13. Other than the first pick of the NFL draft is still at stake here if Texas or the Houston Texans screw it up. Minnesota is 7-point favorites on the road. Minnesota could still improve their seed, and there's an outside shot they could still get the number 1 seed. So I think they're going to play everybody in this game. -7 and a over-under 43, guys.
Yeah, I definitely think Minnesota comes. They have to win, and they're going to want to win. And the Bears, really in their best interest, would be to lose.
Yes.
So I think it matches up very well for Minnesota to go out there and win by more than 7, so I'm taking Minnesota.
All right.
And the under, I'd go under on that game as well.
Gotcha.
I think the Bears win because the Vikings have had the easiest schedule this entire season. We saw with the Green Bay game, can't hold themselves. I think the Bears pull up and stop them just to show they can.
I like when you got division games, there's nothing Chicago would like to do than to prevent Minnesota from doing something. Now, I don't know if they'll end up doing it, but I'll take the touchdown, and I think this is actually going to be a pretty contested battle. I don't think Chicago is going to roll over even for the number 1 seed in this case. I think they'll be fine with 2 if they end up with 2 because realistically, they got to believe Houston's not going to mess it up. So why not ruin a foe's chances at a number 1 seed and maybe even knock them down as low as 3 in this case, depending on what goes on this weekend. So I'm with Kyle. 2 on the Bears, 1 on Minnesota.
Well, at least it'll be a winner.
Yeah. Remember, Mark, all bets are final. All right, Baltimore Ravens at the Cincinnati Bengals. Here's another one that won't be as emotional, but Baltimore really don't have a whole lot to play for here. They cannot catch Cincinnati for the division, so they're definitely a wild card game here. Or team. Cincinnati, depending once again what they decide, has a shot to be a number 1 seed, or they'll play at a neutral site. So where you guys see this, Cincinnati is a touchdown favorite here. 41 is the over-under.
Well, I'll be here for a while, so I'm definitely not going to go against Cincinnati. And I think Cincinnati needs to win this game. You know, if for some reason his team loses, that's going to help Cincinnati a lot if they win.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Cincinnati. I'll give up those points. The touchdown. Kind of weird it's at 7. Shock it's not like at 6.5 or 7.5.
Okay. Kyle?
Same deal. I think the Bengals, not as much as the Bills, but to the same extent, have something to prove this Sunday, and they're gonna be hungry for a win after what's happened, both in terms of placement, but also just general like team morale. Like both teams are out of it, but now with a stable recovery, like I think they're really gonna put their all into it. And like you said, the Ravens, they're not feeling it. I gotta go Cincinnati. They're gonna cover.
Cincy looked good on the one drive.
No,
they did look great on that drive.
They were looking good on that second drive until the incident happened. So they looked like they were moving the ball at will against the Bills, which against the Ravens that should be even easier to do. And they're on a roll as well. They're just a better team, and I think they'll play their guys. I don't think they'll rest on anything in this case. I don't think it was Cincinnati anyway. So I'm hoping not. And I do like the over in this as well. I think the over set a little low for what's going on today. So give me that. Speaking of the Dookie Bowl, here it is. Houston Texans and the Colts. I forgot to get the Dookie emoji down on this new computer, Mark, but I would put it all over the bottom. 2-13-1 against 4-11-1. Yeah, let's just skip it. Yeah, real quick, Mark, who you like?
Colts.
All right, Colts are favored by 3, by the way, just in case they're at home.
Yep, that's it. Yep.
Yeah, I'll also take the Colts.
Yeah.
Same deal. Favored by 3.
I think the Texans
the
will.
odds makers will be asleep anyways, so it'll be whatever.
Texans will lead this for a while, and then they'll just cave in. Hey, here, you can have it. We just want to play a half, but we want that number 1 pick. So who knows if it's Bryce Young. But I will say this. Let's see, 37.5. This looks like a Dookie Bowl of all Dookie Bowls, but that's a little too low. I'm going to go slightly over. I think this score's low 40s.
Yeah, I go under.
All right, you guys go under. All right.
I'll struggle to score both teams as they trip over each other.
Jets and Miami, speaking of tripping over each other now. In theory, Miami's the only team that has anything to play for unless they add an 8th team, and then New York's going to need some things to happen. Let's just go on the assumption it's not. So Dolphins really need this game, but they basically go into Teddy Bridgewater, I believe, again with Sky Moore Thompson, I think. Sky Thompson backing him up. What do you guys think on this game? Neither team's really at full strength and doing well this time of year.
I'm going to take Miami Jets. I don't know what happened, but they have not looked good the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to take Miami because they're playing in Miami.
Yep, and
they need
a point favorite. Yep, they just are a single point favorite. So
it's a pick'em game, so I'll take Miami.
Yeah, same here. It's 1 point. They're gonna cover that, and they have something to fight for in this game. It's a home game. It's everything is pointing towards this is a Dolphins win. The Jets aren't looking that great out there the last few games, so Dolphins.
Yeah, I'll go Dolphins just in this scenario. I don't know what the Jets are going to do. They might quit in this game. They got a defense that should keep them in games, but I don't even know if they'll play that hard. They're just looking to the offseason. I'll go safe bet and go Miami with you guys. I do like the over in the game though. 38.5.
38.
Both teams were averaging in the low 20s on the season, so that seems to be knocked down a little too low for me.
All right.
All right, Carolina Panthers are on the road to the New Orleans Saints. This is the Who Gives a Crap Bowl as well. 3.5 is New Orleans home favorite there at 42. The over-under mark. It looks like we're just playing for vacation here.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Saints. I think that they're trying to still rebuild, and they look good against who was it?
They look good against the Eagles.
That's right. So I think they continue that role because I think they were psyched about doing that, and I think you see another good showing out of them. They win probably by a touchdown. They're not going to blow them out, but they win by a touchdown. They'll cover.
All right. Kyle?
Yeah, after that Eagles loss, I'm a lot more confident in what the Saints are capable of. They're currently in that rebuild, but I think this game, the Panthers are just not in the right place to beat the Saints in this. I think they cover, but I do think it's going to be under the 42. I think it's going to be a slog back and forth.
Yeah, I go under as well.
Yeah, Saints have been playing really well. They haven't had anything to play for a while, but they beat the Browns in a really bad game weather-wise up in Cleveland, and they turn around and beat the Eagles. And the Eagles were trying to win that game, believe it or not, and they basically made them look like, what, it was 20-10? Like they weren't in the game at all. Philly really wasn't.
I think because the Eagles lost, Nick decided to give out more money.
That's what happens when you get emotionally involved. Yeah, you either drink a lot, eat a lot more, or you start recklessly spending cash. You guys ought to play on his emotions and grab his card and try to go to that Cincinnati-Baltimore game while you're in town.
We wish.
So.
Just an idea. All right, Chargers at the Denver Broncos. Broncos actually showed up and gave Kansas City a game. Magically, how that happens when they fire a coach who sucks.
You just get the Steelers.
Did I?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Hang on, let me look down. Let me look down.
They play?
I don't think I did yet. Let's just go with the flow, Kyle. Come on.
All right, sorry.
All right, so here we are. Denver Broncos and the Chargers. So Denver's a 3-point favorite because they are expecting L.A. They really can't do much to improve their seeding. They're a wild card team no matter what. Over under 35.5. So you should see a lot of secondary guys playing for the Chargers this weekend.
No, that's not going to be any different for Denver because they don't have a first, second, or third string. So I'm glad that I'm going to take the Chargers, and I'm glad I'm getting points because they're good. Denver's at home, and we all know what Denver's favorite drink is.
Oh, my goodness.
So I'm definitely taking Chargers. Their second string will be whatever Denver throws at them besides what they drink.
Chargers as well. Denver has got nothing to fight for right now. I know LA, they're a wild card, but I think it'll be under because nobody's really going to be trying. But I think the Chargers win.
All right.
I think this team will go over. I think it goes to like 42.
Okay.
Just barely over.
I'll go opposite you guys. I'll take Denver.
All right. Make sure you have a full glass.
They want to go out on the home team. I think that interim coach is trying to make an impression. He's not going to get the job, but what the hell? Yeah, you'll hear a lot of that. We'll play some highlights. Now, in case Mark didn't do a Cleveland Browns and Pittsburgh Steelers graphic here. Pittsburgh Steelers are favored by 2.5 at home, and the over-under 40. Steelers win and in kind of game right now because they did that last week. I don't think they're locked, if I remember right, but they basically control their own destiny. So let's just assume that is the case there. Cleveland and Pittsburgh, guys. Another division game. Somebody wants to ruin somebody's party. You going to be on the Browns bandwagon here?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think that Pittsburgh should win this, but, man, the odds makers got it so low. But they are at home. I'll go ahead and take Pittsburgh because I definitely agree it's going to be a close game. So hopefully they can win by that last-minute field goal.
All right, Kyle.
I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns because it's the
Ohio?
beautiful state of Ohio. We have a brand new app, the MVGBet app. You can download it today, and you can play it in Cleveland right at this Browns game. Actually, scratch that. The game happens in Pennsylvania. You didn't hear a thing. But home Browns game, MVGBet. We're here for you.
Oh, man. Get a hug with every new sign-up. All right. I think the Steelers on a good roll here. I like the vibe. Cleveland's been playing okay. They beat the Commanders last week, but I think that's because the coach there made a really bad decision of switching to QB at the time. So give me the Steelers in a very close one. I think this one's Pittsburgh don't really have the offense to blow anybody out, but I do think they have a little better defense going than Cleveland does right now. So Pittsburgh by 3 to maybe 4 points, I think, is where this is going to end up. All right, next game, guys. Giants and Eagles. Philadelphia, 2-touchdown favorites because the Giants, I guess, have indicated that they're not going to play anybody worth the salt. So no Daniel Jones, no Saquon Barkley. I don't even – they have to play their wide receivers because they don't have anybody. So those guys are probably still playing. Kind of a dangerous spot. I do not know if Jalen Hurts is going to play for sure yet, but they were saying it was trending that way. So, thus, 14 points. You giving up 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm not. You're going to give me 2 touchdowns. I think Philadelphia wins, but not by 14. And I don't think Hurts plays.
All right, Kyle?
And if he does, it won't be for the full game.
Yeah, no, right. Not for the full game. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Hurts will play the full game, and Philly's not going to cover that 14. I think they're going to win, but only by about a touchdown.
Okay.
They've been struggling the past few weeks, and I think that'll continue. Especially, we've been seeing a decent performance out of the Giants. So I think it'll be a lot closer than this negative 14 they're giving. That's insane.
I know. Mark knows the rule. I went against the rule twice and got burned. Last week I actually took the 12 points in Denver and covered, so I'm going to take 2 touchdowns with you guys, especially if it's Minshew. If it's Hurts, I gave it a shot that Philly would try to roll it up early on him, but I'm not going to take that shot with 14. So all of us on board with the 2 touchdowns here. Speaking of 2 touchdowns, this game does, I guess, somewhat matter. I don't know. Did I skip the Arizona game, or was it not in the –
No, it's next up.
All right. Where did it go? Did we miss that one too, Marcellus?
Well, you should have it in there.
All right, well, let's go with the Rams and the Seahawks. They were below this game on the sheet, but 6-point Seattle is favored at home against the Rams, and Baker Mayfield coming to town. Seattle, I think, would be out. So I don't think they have a path in unless they were to add an 8th team at the last second to both conferences. But I think Seattle got eliminated with their loss last week, if I recall right.
Yeah, I think you're right. I would definitely go here on this particular game since the point's at -6. So I'll take Seattle only because they're at home. I think they're just going to give the fans something to cheer for since nothing matters because Rams have nothing good either. So I think Seattle will win by a touchdown, and then just coming out of their home stadium for the final game of the season with a win, I think that means a lot for the fans.
All right, Kyle?
And I definitely think it's under.
Oh, going under, too. All right.
Yeah.
I haven't been Baker Mayfield's biggest fan through my days, but what he's done at the Rams is impressive, to say the least. And I think they're just going to go up there and smack Seattle around. Not by a ton of points. I think the game's going to go under. I think the Seahawks are just going to chip.
So what's the difference in smack around but not being a lot of points versus just flat out bitch slap, I guess? Is that a whole lot of points? Like, where's that demarcation line?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think the Rams will win by 7.
Oh.
But considering the Seattle is -6 right now, that to me is a slap.
I sense an Odd Brothers boost.
Uh-oh.
I sense one here. I think so. I think in this game, who's playing for a job next year? Baker Mayfield. I think he wants to. He wants to try to do something a little extra special. And Seattle has been more than willing to give a lot of passing yards up lately, and they've been losing a lot of games because of that. So you're going to give me points. I know Seattle really has nothing to play for, even though they're at home. And that combination with a guy that wants a job next year, which is Baker, give me the points. I don't know if the Rams win outright, but I like to start out the game 6-0 in my favor. Right on. All right, so the Dallas Cowboys against the Washington Commanders. Now, this is interesting. Word is they are going to play. Dallas is going to play their starters because they have a shot at the seeds. And you notice that Philadelphia and San Francisco are all playing in the same time slot. So nobody can cheat and really look and say, Philadelphia already won, so we're changing our mind. I think everybody's playing starters here. Washington, on the other hand, not Carson Wentz, not Taylor Heineke, but they're going to look at their 5th-round draft pick to start this game against Dallas's defense. Yeah, so Cowboys, they are favored in this game, gentlemen, by a tutty. What do you think?
Is all of Dallas' defense healthy?
All but they say that their one cornerback that ended up with some sort of hip injury is questionable. Yeah. Is questionable. I doubt he plays.
Yeah, no, more the defensive line putting pressure on the Washington Commodes quarterback.
So what I wouldn't be shocked to see is they only use Micah Parsons potentially in the passing down situations that they know are coming, the 3rd and long, 2nd and longs. That's probably the other guy that won't play full time, but he'll play as needed to rush the quarterback.
Gotcha. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take Dallas because they need to win. Well, they want to win. They have to. Well, I think they have to win. If they want to get further along in the playoffs, because otherwise they could be one and done.
Well, yeah, so the word is now they can be one of 4 seeds. They've got the most movement of any team in the NFL. They can be the 1 seed with Philly and San Francisco losing because they hold the tiebreaker against the Minnesota Vikings. They could be the 2 seed if Philly wins but San Francisco loses. They could be the 3 seed, in theory, if Minnesota loses a game. Or no, they couldn't be the 3 seed. That's right, because it goes to the division champion. So they can be 1, they could be 2, or they could be where they're at right now, 5, facing Tampa Bay the following week. I'm going to take Dallas.
All right.
I think they need to go. Yeah, you're taking the Cowboys too?
Yeah.
That's dangerous. All right, let me look and see. No San Francisco graphic, so I will read it to you.
All right.
Arizona is visiting San Francisco here. San Francisco, 2 touchdown favorites in this game, over under a 40. Arizona Cardinals obviously are pretty much sitting Hopkins and anybody they're paying high dollars to. So they're basically got scrub team and a half going out on the road.
I'm going to go with you-know-who, the 49ers, because I'm a Purdy fan.
Scott Purdy.
I'm taking them. I know that's a lot of points, but I think I think they probably win by 17 points, so I think that's about right.
So let me ask you this question.
Field goal.
Yeah, let me ask you this question. You know they almost lost to the Raiders with the 3rd-string quarterback last week, right? And got hung 30-some points on?
Who's that? Niners?
San Francisco? Yeah. They didn't cover last week.
They'll be all right.
They'll be all right. All right. Kyle, are they going to be all right?
Yeah, I don't think the 49ers cover the 14, the 2 touchdowns. I do think they win, but only by 1 touchdown. So I think it's going to go under. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a all right game. If the 49ers are your thing.
I think I'm going to go with I don't like to do this, but I think San Francisco's got too much to play for, and they're at home. I think they have a shot to just go ahead and slap these guys down quick, easy. And then the 14, though, I'm going to go ahead and do it and be a big dumb animal, and I'll mark this tape again and come back on Monday and go, I knew better than to take the double digits in an NFL game. But I just don't know what Arizona's got that could keep up this time. At least the Raiders had Devontae Adams and their running back and, like, real bona fide NFL starting players. Arizona really don't have that. And their defense stinks. Bona fide, I say. All right, so there we go. That should leave one left, the Sunday night game. The win and you're in game. The Detroit Lions at the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay 4.5-point favorites at home here. The over-under 49, so they're expecting quite a bit of scoring to happen on the finale for the NFL regular season. Guys, where do you see this one? Who gets in the playoffs?
I don't see a lot of scoring going on here, so I would definitely take the under. We'll start with that. And I think Packers win only because they're at home. If this was in Detroit, I think Detroit wins. 4.5, I think they might win by 6. I don't even think they win by a full touchdown.
Okay.
I think they win by 2 field goals.
2 field goals.
I think the Lions, they have a way of upsetting the league. So, especially against the Packers, even though they're at home, Packers are looking really good this year, I have to admit. But the Lions haven't been bad either. And, yeah, I think the Lions, I think it's under. I do not think it gets to 49 points. But Lions win.
Lions win flat out. I'm going to take the Lions to cover, but I think Green Bay in Lambeau Field with Aaron Rodgers over Aaron Goff, they figure out some way to sneak this one out. They finally figured something out to get on a little roll here, and there's just something about Detroit and Lambeau Field that just don't get along. I forget what the actual record is, but I think they're 1-15 in the last 16 seasons at Lambeau Field. It's been nuts, and they've had Stafford, a lot during that time. So I think they get the points. What's that?
It's just about time for them to get a win up there.
Yeah, you're right. You could say it's the overdue time. Absolutely. You can say it's way overdue for them to get a win. So I think it's going to be a great game. Detroit is not your daddy's Detroit. I think they make this fun, and I could see a method where they win outright. I'm not saying that. I just look at the quarterback like, who do I trust if I had to put my house note on one guy? Do I believe in Jared Goff on the road, or do I believe in Aaron Rodgers at home? And that's basically where I'm going to roll up. But I'm going to take Detroit because it's 4.5. I like that half.
All right.
And that's our picks for the NFL Week 18, the finale. Keep in mind, we record usually, anyway, Mondays and Fridays, provided nothing else goes on around here, at Southland Casino and Hotel. We're located in West Memphis, Arkansas. If you ever come by, right across the bridge from Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee, come see a show, maybe be on the show. We got some T-shirts and swag for you as well. That's Odds Brothers related, not necessarily MVG and me that they got up in Ohio. But if you're in Ohio and happen to be watching this, you guys are there for how long? When can they come see you?
Yeah, for a while.
I'm here till next Tuesday.
I'm here till, a while. Don't really have an ETA on that yet. But
we got more shirts coming in. Come get a shirt.
Come get a
say
shirt.
Hi.
All right, we can do that. All right, while we get ready to roll here on our Pick 6, you guys got some Pick 6 stuff ready for the last week?
I do. Or you mean for this week?
Yeah, this week coming up. Now, I'm going to show you what we did last week between me and Mark, so we will do a recap. I do have this graphic, hopefully. Bam, there we go. How about that? I just put them right next to each other. I had Pittsburgh last week. They ended up winning outright. They were getting 3 at Baltimore, and so that's a good one for me. Minnesota, well, I thought they were going to play better at Green Bay, minus 3.5. What are you guys doing? Yeah, that's out of there. Carolina, they had the lead. I thought they were going to just flat out win. They were getting 3.5. They lost by 6 at Tampa. My lock of the week, New York Giants came through big time. It was like 37-10 or something, so I got the 2-pointer there. Denver, I was getting those 12 points, and I loved every minute of it because they covered. And I knew better than take the damn commodes. It cost me 0 points for Washington, so I ended up with 4 points on the week. Oh, man. Mark, you ready for this?
No.
All right, Kansas City. Giants. Carolina. Washington. San Francisco. And Baltimore. My goodness. 1 point? One solitary point.
I eluded the goose egg.
You did elude the – well, yeah, you did. Thank God. The Giants. At least you picked one of my selections anyway. So, anyway, Preston, just to let you know, I don't have a graphic for him, but he had the Eagles. They didn't win, more or less giving up 6.5, so he lost on that one. Falcons, they were 3.5-point favorites. I don't think they covered. They won by a point. Lions, minus 6.5. Chargers, minus 7. Giants, minus 5.5. And his best bet was the Washington Commandos, minus 2.5. So that's a 3 spot for him. So, Mark, $25 of food comes from his bank account into Preston's gut, and we go from there. All right, let me roll out.
He can thank you later for his appearance fee.
All right, gentlemen, let's see here. Kyle, I don't got your graphics up yet, so I'm going to go ahead and just write yours down for the week.
All right.
You're ready, sir. Let me get these down. All right. What do you got for your Pick 6 selections week 18?
All right. Let's see. Chiefs.
Chiefs.
They don't cover, but they still win. That's still a pick. Am I allowed to pick that?
No, you got to pick the point spread.
Fine. I'll take Kansas City
Just
point
go with
spread.
your old theory.
Wild theory.
Yeah,
We're going with the Chiefs.
So what's that, minus 14?
That's minus 8.5.
Oh, darn it. All right. Who else you got?
Let's see. The Bills outright win this. It goes over. Come on now. That's
All right.
lock, too.
I will get
all
you.
right?
So
that's my lock as well. Go Bills.
Buffalo minus 7.
Bengals.
Yep.
All right. Buffalo
Bengals.
minus 7. Bengals.
Cincinnati minus 7.
Okay.
They also win that. Oh, I'm going to pick the Colts.
I would laugh too.
Yeah, let's -3.
Minus 3. All right.
-3.
That's 4 of them.
Dolphins.
Who?
Miami covers.
Oh, no kid. Miami. Minus the 1. All right. And last but not least, your final of the pick 6.
The Detroit Lions.
Detroit. All right. He's going to take him up, getting 4.5.
Green Bay by a touchdown.
Green Bay.
Beautiful.
All right. So there's Kyle's recap on his pick 6 selections for all you. He was going to take the Chiefs, but not to cover, but then he's going to cover anyway, so minus 8.5. Buffalo's his lock, minus 7. Bengals minus 7. Colts minus 3. Miami giving just a point at home against the Jets, and then Detroit on the road at Green Bay to wrap up the regular season. They're getting 4.5. He thinks they're going to win outright, so don't even mess with these point spread. Just go Moneyline Detroit and make it.
Moneyline Detroit. Big money this weekend.
That's right. And say Kyle sent you. All right.
Wow.
Marcellus.
There's a good chance.
I don't know if
Go
you
ahead.
even have the opportunity to override the picks that I overrode when you first put them in. Do you?
No, I do not.
All right, that's okay. We'll write them down and I'll put them up.
All
Put them
right.
up later.
I'm now thinking Kyle will be the first goose egg with those picks. So let's get to some real picks. I'm going to take the Raiders. Give me those 8.5.
Raiders plus 8.5.
Yeah. And then give me the Vikings minus 7.
All right, Vikings minus 7.
And then give me Cincy minus 7 over the Ravens.
All right.
And then I'm going to take the Chargers over your fearless Broncos.
So you're going to get points right there if I remember right.
Yep, plus 3.
Plus
Yep.
3, all right.
And then I'm going to go with the Giants because you're giving me 14 points. I still think Philadelphia wins, but they do not cover, so give me the Giants.
Okay, and one more.
And then give me Seattle minus 6. I think they do it at home. And Baker's going to be backup QB to who's ever playing in Dallas next year.
All right, and out of all that, your best bet would be who?
Oh, yeah, I got to do that. Hang on. That's a good one. Let's go with the Chargers. I'm so confident. Let's go with the Chargers as my pick of the week.
Pick of the week is his
How do you
Chargers.
think I'm going to goose egg with the Bills as my best bet? That's literally impossible. All right? There's no way they lose this game.
Bills win but not cover. That's how.
Ooh.
They win by 3.
Wow.
No way.
Man.
They're going to win by 2 touchdowns.
By 2
Maybe
touchdowns.
3.
Yeah, he said put him down for minus 14.
Well, maybe. I could see them rolling. Like it's going to be a very emotional time for Buffalo, and I could just see it getting out of control for New England pretty damn quick. And that's where I'm going with my first pick, Buffalo. And I agree with Kyle. Out of all these that I'm not so sure on, this is the most sure I can be. I think they end up winning easily, so that'll be my best bet. I'll lay that touchdown, especially since they get this game at home. If this was up in New England, I might be a little hesitant, but in Buffalo, this seems like everything lines up for an ass-whooping up there in Orchard Park. I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys as well. I'm going to lay the 7. I just don't know what Washington's a mess. They're going to start a 5th-round draft pick. I think Dallas is going to end up trying to get this 1 seed, and they're going to play their guys until they're comfortably ahead by probably 21, 28 points. So I think they hold on by 7. Give me them. I'm going to go ahead. I opened my mouth up. I'm going to take Detroit plus the 4.5. It's not your daddy's Detroit, but I do think Green Bay ends up coming out of there and being your 7th seed for the last spot in the NFC playoff picture. Now, from outside of this, I'm getting a little bit like now I'm trying to decide who's going to play and not play in games and how comfortable I feel about that stuff. So out of all that, I'm going to go Miami -1 and not feel great about it. But they're the last team in this list that I think has something to play for. So I'll take them. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take Pittsburgh. I've been riding this bus for a while. Something tells me I'm not as comfortable, even though it's Cleveland, but I'm going to give up the 2.5 at home and see them into the 7th seed as well in the AFC side of things. And last but not least, I like Mark's call on the Giants, getting 14. I think the guys that do play, that don't get to play much, are going to be playing for jobs next year, contracts, all that kind of stuff. I think they keep the game close, but just don't have enough offensive firepower at the end to win the game outright, I do not think. And if you recall, last year, all Philly had to do was win the game. Remember, in the Giants or against Washington, if Philly won that game they were in, and then they pulled Hurts and everybody out at halftime, and then Washington went in and knocked the Giants out of playoff contention, I don't think they forgot about that. If they can ruin the number 1 seed for the Eagles here, even though they're in, they're going to give it a shot. So there's my pick 6. Buffalo, my lock, -7. Dallas minus a touchdown. Detroit Detroit plus 4.5. Miami -1. Pittsburgh -2.5. And the Giants are getting 14. Those are your odds, brothers, and a high riser, I guess, in this case, Kyle, even though he's in Ohio.
Yep.
Pick 6 plays for this
Ohio.
week. That's right. All right. One last time, guys, if you want to pimp out your gear there, MVGBet. That's what they call it up in Ohio, right? So if you want some mobile action on all your favorite games, any restrictions up there? Can they bet college? The colleges inside?
Yep.
All right, so good deal. So you can bet Ohio State basketball and Cincinnati, University of Cincinnati, all that stuff.
Yep, absolutely.
For sure.
Good deal. So you guys are there till when?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another few days for me. Another few years for him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when I leave.
All right.
Hopefully I'll find out Monday.
Yeah, me too. That way we need to know what goes on with the podcast, I suppose.
Right.
Another last-minute flight brought to you by.
Right.
All right. Anything else before we get out the door, homies?
I got nothing.
That's it.
Stop by if you're in Ohio and get some of the swag.
Yeah, get
If you're
that,
in Ohio,
get that
come meet
swag.
us.
Let's see here. I guess there's just one more thing to do, right? Is play that beautiful Outbound B footage.
That's right.
I guess so.
Let me click this 1 second, Tigers. Thanks for being on today. And
Later.
keep in mind, everybody, if you're in the neighborhood, we are broadcasting every Monday and Friday. Get it up there as soon as Kyle gets the file. Hopefully, we'll be streaming live shortly. And in addition, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Word is, if we get up to 30 subscribers, I might get a trip to Ohio. So we can do this show live. All right, so I'm trying to find the outro.
Yeah.
All right.
Should say outro.
I could just say it in my best announcer voice.
Yeah, go ahead, say that.
Go say it. You've been listening to the Odd Brothers podcast. Available on YouTube. You can watch it. You can also hear it on Amazon, Apple, Google, Spotify, of course, the big green. Mondays and Fridays on the air. It's Mark. It's Shane. Thanks
All
for
right,
listening.
we're getting the hell out of here.
Hey.
Thank you for listening to the Odds Brothers podcast.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Presented by the Bentley Sportsbook. Place your sports bets here from inside Southland Casino or from anywhere in Arkansas at southland.bentley.com.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, that dang old internet, man, you just go on there and point and click, 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 click. It's real easy, man.
Be sure to follow the Odds Brothers podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google, and YouTube. Keep in mind, in Arkansas, you must be 21 or older and located in Arkansas to bet. Please play responsibly. For help quitting, call 1-800-522-4700.